What are some of the pros and cons of consumer credit counseling? Consumer credit counseling is treated by mortgage lenders about the same as a bankruptcy. So it's very important for you to understand the pros and cons when you're entering into these kinds of agreements. And when I say it's similar to bankruptcy, I'm talking about Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is the kind where you make payments. You're not just wiping the slate clean. So let's talk about the pros of consumer credit counseling. In my 27-year career, these are the things that I see as the pros for this particular way to repay and consolidate your debt. Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm with Let's Talk Mortgage Pro. So let's explore this a little bit deeper. The first pro of a consumer credit counseling type of an agreement is that you have one payment. So you may have currently like 12 or 15 or 30 different accounts that you have to make payments on every single month. Hopefully not that many, but I've seen worse. And this consolidates them into one clean payment. So instead of having to make all these different payments on all these different creditors, you just write one big check or they draft it from your bank account. So it's a structured plan and it's an easier way to manage your bills if you have too many. The other benefit or the other pro is the fact that you have a financial education. So you have resources that you currently may not have access to. And the third pro revolves around the same thing, which is that you have an assigned counselor. So you have one-on-one counseling. This person is there by your side to go through the process of not only consolidating your bills, but answering any questions as you go through the process. And it's usually a couple of years. Usually it's 3 to 5 years that you're repaying these bills over through this debt consolidation plan. Another pro to this particular way of consolidating your debt has to do with creditor relationships. Of course, you as an individual person don't have as good of a creditor relationship as, say, it does with a company, like a consumer credit counseling company. And so they have these relationships where they're able to work with those companies and those creditors in order to either, stop the nasty phone calls or just make things a little bit more pleasant for you. And in some cases, they can actually restructure the debt, reduce the interest rates, and then of course get the payments down even lower. So that helps as far as the pros on consumer credit counseling. Now it's time to talk about the cons, because it's important for you to understand with every pro comes a con. So when it comes to consumer credit counseling, in my experience, what I've noticed is that many times the payments are made from your bank account for that one new bigger payment, but the consumer credit counseling agency is not always making that payment on the same schedule as what it's due on. So a lot of times I see many lates appear on people's credit reports, and they're super frustrated by it. Of course, I would be too, because you've just consolidated everything to make everything look better and to be better in your checkbook, and now it's destroying your credit. So that's the number one con that I don't like about consumer credit counseling, is the fact that many times it shows up as lates on your credit report, and they're not always consistently late. It's sporadic, and it doesn't necessarily mean one creditor always reports you late. It's very varied. It's just really frustrating when I look at these things. Another con to the program is fees. You want to make sure before you sign up for anything, before you sign anything, that you're paying very close attention to what those fees are. The fees for consumer credit counseling can be expensive, and you want to make sure you get a full, complete list of what those will look like. Another con to the program, of course, is that it can lengthen your repayment depending on what you were set on. Say it's a 3-year installment loan. Well, now it's a 5-year repayment plan with your new consumer credit counseling. So you've just extended it out 2 more years. So that's not fun either. Another con is it doesn't cover all debt types. So it usually won't cover cars or anything secured like a house. So if it's an unsecured debt or an installment account that's unsecured, it will usually cover it. But when it comes to those bigger debts, the mortgages and the cars, it will not secure those and it will not cover those. So those are something you would still have to handle on your own. Now, of course, the other thing is, a big con is that I see a lot of scams and frauds out there. So be very careful. You want to check them out. You want to fully vet them. Make sure that these companies are real, structured consumer credit counseling type of companies, and make sure that they're not just a fly-by-night scam. Obviously, you have to take very much care when it comes to your finances. And so I don't want anybody to get, sucked into a vortex of a scam or a fraudster. And of course, the other thing is that when you're in consumer credit counseling type of program, it can set you back from obtaining mortgage financing. In most mortgage programs and requirements, the guidelines state you have to be within the consumer credit counseling program for 1 solid year and show on-time payment history for each and every payment for that 12 months. And then we have to go to the consumer credit counseling company and basically request permission for you to be able to buy a house. Because in the agreement that you sign, it says you're not going to get any new debt. And the last con is it's not a magic solution. This is not going to solve all of your problems when it comes to your debts, but it will certainly help if you are in a bad place and you need assistance. It is definitely something that you might want to check out because it is way, way, way better for you to have this on your credit, go through debt consolidation rather than let everything go into a bad negative state and charge off. I promise you, your credit will look a lot better by going through a consumer credit counseling versus letting it all go bad. I hope this video has helped. And if you're not already a subscriber, please do so. And I look forward to having you.